To see Ervin Santana. The last time we saw him on the mound, he was injured, but he hasn't missed a go so far.
You know, and for Ervin, it was quite a scare that he threw at the whole staff because he got hit in that right shoulder, and then he took every necessary step to say, I am ready. Those steps were stretching out nicely, being able to play catch and long toss, and then his bullpen. But overall, Ervin Santana, even though he is not missing a start, he's a little bit behind because other guys already have 10 innings. Dan Herron, Weaver has a lot of innings, 9 innings. Even Brad Mills has over 8 innings, but Ervin is more than ready right now. He's going to be stretched out, not only innings-wise, Terry, but also with his pitches.
Absolutely, and he's going to have to play in a very chilly day here in the Valley. The temperature is going to be somewhere in the 50s today at game time. Another Angel player who will not be with the Angels today, but we're expecting him to be in the lineup with the Halos tomorrow, is Kendrys Morales. He will play today in a minor league game.
Yes, and that's just another good step for Kendrys Morales. He continues to do well. No lingering effects of the at-bats he's had down in minor league camp. He is hit from both sides of the plate. He is coming out of the batter's box very nicely, exploiting with his legs. Now it's just to get him to baseball shape. The great news is he will be playing a big league game tomorrow because there will be a designated hitter. That is just great news. But first, he needs to pass the test today also in the minor leagues.
Well, hopefully he'll pass that test, and we'll see him tomorrow when the Angels take on Kansas City. Also today, Mark Trumbo has stayed back in minor league camp. He's going to play some third base in a Class A game.
I think that's marvelous that he gets exposed to so many different scenarios, and those kids with single A, they're going to be showing everything to you. They're going to be hitting the ball right at you hard. They're going to try to test you. Mark Trumbo so far with a bat, just more than ready. He is driving the ball. He is seeing the ball so well, even tracking breaking balls better and laying off us some of them. Now defensively, we knew it was not going to be easy. We have seen the flashes of brilliance, catching line drives like that, diving, making routine plays, but also at times we know there's going to be some growing pains, going to his left, communicating, and because Terry, he is so tall, and remember, he has to think about the throw. His footwork needs still some work to be done.
Mike Scioscia has definitely been impressed so far with Trumbo as he continues to grow at the third base position. Some other players that have impressed us, Jose, maybe not with the Angels right now. We might see them from time to time. They've been sent down to minor league camp. Let's start things off with Jean Segura.
You know, Jean Segura is a young shortstop. Really exciting to see that he is back and healthy, along with Ariel Pena and Eric Hurley. These guys, as you mentioned, Terry, are not currently in big league camp. They have been reassigned, but it doesn't mean we have seen the last of them. Getting back to Segura, what a fantastic player all the way around. He has shown that his legs are back and healthy. He has shown a mighty bat. He, in fact, had a 2-homer game here already in camp, and no setbacks and no limitations on his defense. He can play short, he can play second, he can drive the ball, he can bunt for you, and he can run. And then we go to talking about the number 5 spot in the rotation. Eric Hurley was reassigned, but the reason was he needs to pitch a little bit more and get stretched out. His numbers were not bad overall, Terry, but here's a guy that we know at some point will help the Angels this year.
Well, we mentioned that Ervin Santana is pitching today for the Angels. Another pitcher who has certainly reminded us of Ervin Santana is Ariel Pena.
Yes, he has, Terry, for many reasons. The number one reason is his size, the mid-90s fastball, and the devastating slider. And I like the way Ariel Pena has learned about the craft of pitching, repeating his mechanics, and being able to locate his fastball and his slider in counts where you don't think he was going to do that because of his age. This guy is a plus of a prospect for the Angels right now.
Keep an eye on Ariel Pena in the years to come, kind of a little bigger, younger version of Ervin Santana. When we get back, we'll have the start of today's game here in Scottsdale. It's the Angels and the Colorado Rockies, and it's coming up next on Fox Sports West.
We are back at Salt River Fields at Talking Stick here in Scottsdale, Arizona. Great to have you with us on the Angels Baseball Network and also on Fox Sports West, coming from the road today to all of you. Jose Mota and Terry Smith as Alfredo Griffin runs away from home plate after exchanging lineups. Here is the lineup for the visiting Angels today here against the Rockies. Eric Aybar will lead off at shortstop. Aybar has had a nice spring. Howie Kendrick is at second base. He mirrors that too. Great performance so far for the All-Star second baseman. Albert Pujols in the lineup, batting third at first base. Torrey Hunter is in right field, batting fourth. Vernon Wells is batting fifth in left field. Alberto Callaspo is batting sixth. He is the Angels' third baseman. Peter Borges will follow and play center field. He's batting seventh. Bobby Wilson, welcome back to the lineup. Bobby Wilson is behind the plate, batting eighth, and Irvin Santana will have his turn with the bat today, batting ninth here under the National League rule. Santana, the pitcher for the Halos. For the Rockies, managed by one-time baseball man Jim Tracy. Dexter Fowler is leading off. A lot of speed over there in center field for Fowler. Batting second, a new acquisition, Marcos Scudero, comes from Boston. Scudero playing second base. Carlos Gonzalez, a superstar type player, is in left field, batting third. Troy Tulowitzki, awesome, outstanding ball player, is shortstop, batting fourth. Todd Helton, the granddaddy of them all here in the Rockies, batting fifth. He is at first base. Michael Kodaier, the former Minnesota Twin outfielder, is in right field, batting sixth. Ramon Hernandez comes over as a catcher, veteran Venezuelan, behind the plate, batting seventh. Casey Blake is veteran, also at third base, batting eighth. And Juan Nicasio, who is himself a very good story, we're going to expand on that. Nicasio is on the mound for the Rockies, and he is batting ninth.
Nicasio is starting his warm-up tosses. We're just a minute or so away from the start of today's game. The Angels in action here, taking on the Rockies. The dimensions at this ballpark, Salt River Fields at Talking Stick. It goes 345 down the lines, 410 to dead center, and the power alleys expand to 390. Jose, how about today's umpires? Who do we have today?
We have Bill Miller behind the plate. He is a 13-year veteran. Ted Barrett is the umpire who's going to be roaming around the bases, along with Angel Campos and Lance Barrett. Barrett and Campos are both minor league fill-ins right now here in camp.
All right, we're just about set for baseball. On the hill for the Rockies today, Juan Nicasio. This will be his third appearance this spring. He's also worked in a camp game for them. He's 1-0 in the Cactus League, 7 innings pitched. He's yet to allow an earned run. He's walked only one. And the first batter for the Angels today is Eric Aybar. We're ready for baseball here at Salt River Fields at Talking Stick. And the first pitch is on its way, and that one is in there for a called strike. The count 0-1. We could hear Bill Miller, the home plate umpire, really bark out the strike call right there.
Today's first pitch, 1-2.
Infield is back except at third, and the next pitch, that one is chopped foul over on the right side. So the count jumps to 0-2 on the Angels leadoff man, Eric Aybar, who's having a nice spring. He's had 12 hits in 30 at bats, 52 degrees at game time today. And the two-strike delivery. That's low and inside. It skips away from the catcher Hernandez. And now they say it caught a piece of Aybar. So he's hit by the pitch. It was low and inside. In fact, it got him around the foot.
Little wraparound breaking ball that Aybar is not able to jump away from. So he's on base again. That's been a trend here in spring training in the first inning.
So Eric is aboard. And that's how the game begins today. Hit batsman. The batter now will be Howie Kendrick. Howie having a nice spring, hitting right at 500. He's 13 for 26. Around the infield for the Rockies, they have Helton, the veteran, playing first. Scudero comes over from the Red Sox, playing second. Blake, who comes over from the Dodgers, playing third. And Tulowitzki, the outstanding all-star shortstop. They have a lot of veteran presence around that infield. You also factor in the catcher Ramon Hernandez.
Yeah, they have taken a different approach here this season, and the guys they have brought in. with Scudero, Blake, and Hernandez especially.
1 ball, no strikes on Kendrick. Outfield is straight away. Infield a double play depth in the pitch. There's a ground ball. It's hit to short. This looks like 2 to flip to second. The relay to first. A little bit low, but scooped out of the dirt by Helton. And sure enough, it is a double play. Taylor made shortstop to second baseman to first baseman. 2 outs. Albert Pujols will be the next batter.
Well, that's great news for pitching coach Bob Apodaca, but also for manager Jim Tracy, and having Nicasio sometimes just hold back a little bit more. Don't try to rear everything and throw it as hard as you can. So to see that 2-seamer and have a hot hitter like Howie Kendrick roll over it, it's a big sign for him.
So Albert getting ready to bat. He's hit 3 home runs this spring. He's driven in 9, and he comes in with a .458 batting average here in the Cactus League. He takes the first pitch for a strike.
There's a good sinker again.
Nicasio's next delivery. It's grounded on the right side, right near the second baseman Scudero. Easy throw to first base, and the Angels have a quiet top of the first. No runs, hits, or errors. A batter hit by a pitch, but nobody left. We've completed a half inning today here in Scottsdale. Angels nothing. The Rockies are coming to bat on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. We go to the bottom of the first inning. No score here in Scottsdale. The Angels taking on the Rockies. First batter up for Colorado, their leadoff man Dexter Fowler. He's a switch hitter batting left, and Urban's first pitch low and inside. They count 1 ball, no strikes. Fowler has had a tough spring so far. 1 for 22. They only hit a home run. The pitch. He takes that one for a called strike on the inside corner.
Guess what they don't want to see as a hit. They want to see this guy just use that velocity he possesses with those long legs and hit the ball on the ground and make some things happen.
He can hurt you with his speed, although he wasn't a real big base stealer last year, and he fouls that one off. In fact, one of the things we were talking about before the game today, Jose, the fact that he actually had more triples than stolen bases. You're not going to see that happen very often.
Figure that out.
Yeah. He had 15 triples last year and 12 stolen bases. Actually sent him down to the minors during last season, brought him back up, and this time he takes a pitch on the outside corner, struck him out looking. Santana off to a good start as he strikes out Dexter Fowler.
Yeah, for Urban Santana, keep in mind again, he had a shortened stay on the mound last time out when he got hit by a line drive in the front of his right shoulder. Things to look out today is extension. Is he holding back, or is he able to extend that arm to make sure it's at full motion and he can release everything in the same spot?
So here's Marco Scutaro batting, and he looks at a strike to count 0-1.
There are times when you see a pitcher get hit around the shoulder area and you don't see that extension. They hold back a little bit more. Maybe they don't want to say if it hurts or not.
Here's the next delivery, and that one is lined into left field. Coming in, diving, and making the catch on that one is Vernon Wells. Nicely done. So Irvin gets a little defensive work behind him there as Wells made the play on that sinking liner.
Vernon Wells brings that mentality in left field of a center fielder. Very impressive with that play is just the way he followed the swing. Saw a swing, somebody reaching out in front, and he immediately thought it's got to be in. He was right.
So Carlos Gonzalez will be the next batter. Gonzalez last year hit .295. He was a 20-20 guy for the Rockies, and he hits this one sharply to first, but it's right near Pujols. He fields, flips to Irvin, and it's in time. A quick first inning for Santana. That right shoulder looks pretty good right now. Only 7 pitches he throws, retiring 3 in a row. We go to the second inning here in Scottsdale. No score. Angels and Rockies on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. First batter for the Angels as we start the second inning. It's Torrey Hunter with no score here in Scottsdale. On the first pitch, he looks it over. It's in there for a called strike. Hunter, Wells, and Callaspo against Juan Nicasio. And here comes his next delivery. That's a little bit low and outside. This copyrighted broadcast presented by authority of Angels Baseball may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the expressed written consent of Angels Baseball. Next pitch, right down the heart of the plate for a called strike.
Nicasio got to jam Albert Pujols with that good two-seam fastball running in.
He set the 1-2 on Torrey, and he grounds one right at the veteran first baseman Todd Helton, a couple feet away from the bag. He'll move over and touch first base for the first out. Well, seeing Nicasio pitch for the first time, Jose, one thing that stands out right away is this guy is a quick worker. He doesn't waste any time.
He's a quick worker and somebody that is very thankful to be on the mound, to be healthy, and honestly saying it, to be alive.
Yep, he was involved in a very scary situation last August. We'll get into that in just a moment as the next batter for the Angels, Vernon Wells, takes a pitch for a strike. He was struck in the head by a line drive off the bat of Ian Desmond of the Washington Nationals, their shortstop, and he ended up suffering a broken neck And also, what, a fractured skull.
Fractured skull, broken neck, all happening when he fell on the mound after the impact.
Yep. Here's the next delivery, and that one is low. So it's 2 balls and 1 strike, and he was certainly a huge question mark for the start of this season, but he's pitched well for them so far this spring, so certainly in the mix as far as their rotation is concerned. Next delivery, it's hit well but foul down the right side. That's going to land down in the Rockies bullpen.
Yeah, considering that happened August 5th of last year, and where he is right now, throwing the ball so well, and that fastball exploding, giving it different looks. So not just coming back from the injury and being healthy and pitching, but picking up exactly where they wanted him to in his progress.
Yeah, he's a little bit ahead of schedule to pitch. Chopped on the third base side, rolling up the line. It's a foul ball fielded by Blake. Casey Blake elected to play that one, but a foul ball. Nicasio last season with the Rockies had a 4-4 record in 13 starts, 4.14 ERA. They brought him up from Double-A last year, where he was pitching very well. He had a 5-1 record in 9 starts there with a 2.22 ERA. So they really like him. They just were concerned about where he would be coming into spring training as a result of the injury that he suffered last August. 2-2 the count on Vernon. Callaspo waits on deck. No score. We're in the second inning. Here's the pitch, and that is inside. It misses. Vernon Wells so far this spring hitting .269. The 3-2 pitch. He pops one on the right side. The second baseman Scudero on the dirt will make the catch on it. That's the second out.
So there's no hiding the fact he wants to throw that fastball inside, and Ramon Hernandez, who is behind the plate, is one of the best catchers in recent years, working with young pitchers combined with veteran staffs. And he's a great pickup as a free agent. He is insisting on that pitch that's working for him. And he's always been a plus wherever he's been. He's been great to work with for the pitchers.
So here's Callaspo batting, switch hitter hitting left. And the first pitch he takes inside. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Ramon Hernandez figures to be their #1 catcher. Chris Iannetta had been their #1 catcher. Now, of course, with the Angels, as that pitch is in there for a strike.
Iannetta is still a couple of days away, hopefully, from playing.
And there's a pitch that's a little bit low.
Suffered a right elbow contusion. A foul ball a few days back over in Tempe.
Yeah, the Angels hoping later this week he'll be back in the lineup. The pitch that's lifted in the air down the right field side, and that is trouble. It's going to take a bounce and roll out to the fence. Callaspo will easily get to second base, and he is there with a 2-out double. And the batter will be Peter Borges.
That man was born to hit both sides of the plate. Short swing, great approach to hitting. Keeps it very simple. Hands inside the ball and drives it.
He went down and got that one.
Turner, and also with Kansas City a few years back, Callaspo was a doubles machine himself.
Right. So he's at second here. He had 23 doubles for the Angels last year. And Peter Borges will bat. Peter's hitting .333. Next delivery, and that's in there for a strike. You look at the Angel lineup, and 5 of the hitters in the lineup hitting over 400.
As a team, they come in hitting .326.
Here's the pitch. Lifted foul on the right side. That's going to get back and out of play. Nice crowd here today. Nice to see some sunshine and all the wet weather out of here. It still hasn't warmed up, though, but they're telling us that tomorrow it's going to be in the mid-60s, and then later on this week it'll be back in the very comfortable 80s here in the Valley.
We're just happy that the rain is gone.
Yep.
And the hail.
Yep.
What a storm yesterday.
2 strikes to count on Peter. Next pitch. He pops it on the right side of the infield. The second baseman Scudero a couple feet back on the outfield grass puts it away, and that will end the inning. Angels had a mild threat here in the second. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left. Bottom of the second is coming up for scoreless here in Scottsdale on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West.
Let's listen in on Coach Allen's game plan.
Coach, what
Fans, Wealth Resorts and Angels Radio AM 830 have teamed up to bring you the official AM 830 fan club. Get AM 830 event and team news and updates all season long. Log on to am830fanclub.com. That's am830fanclub.com. First batter up as we get things started here in the bottom of the second inning is Troy Tulowitzki, and Irvin's first pitch missed for a ball. It'll be Tulowitzki, Helton, and Kadire for the Rockies. There's one that's bounced foul on the third base side. 1 ball, 1 strike to count on Troy Tulowitzki.
Here's one of the best players in the game with the faces of baseball, and the way he goes about his business with his former dirtbag is just tremendous. Power, smart player, range at shortstop, you name it, and a true leader in that clubhouse.
And he's only 27 years old. The pitch, he lifts this one in the air behind the plate. Bobby Wilson is going back and just runs out of room. So the count on Tulowitzki, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tulowitzki was a college teammate of Jared Weaver's at Long Beach State.
Well, it's good to see Bobby Wilson moving on so well, going after that pop up there after being held back because of a quad strain. And that is Irvin's favorite battery mate.
Yep, they made history together last year against Cleveland. There's a pitch that's inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count on Tulowitzki.
Talk about being on the same page. Talk about communication. Bobby knows well, pacing Irvin Santana, making him repeat pitches, staying with a focus and a plan.
Here's the 2-2. That's low and in. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Even though it doesn't require much, you get Irvin focused. With those eyes, man. This man knows what he wants.
So Santana has a full count on Tulowitzki. We'll see what gives here with the veteran Todd Helton waiting on deck. Here's the 3-2. And he fouls it off on the left side. That one he's going to get back to the seats and out of play. So still 3 balls, 2 strikes on Tulowitzki. He was the Rockies' first-round pick back in 2005. He was the 7th selection overall in that draft. And he's been an all-star a couple of times. He was an all-star last year. Led all shortstops in the majors and runs batted in last season with 105.
And when he decides to go on a home run tear, be careful. He will hit him in bunches, and it's not all related to playing in Coors Field.
He had 30 a year ago for the Rockies. Again, the 3-2, and that one, he checks his swing. They say he was holding, and he will trot the first base, ball 4. So leadoff walk. Todd Helton will bat. Helton hit the 300 mark last season. He's done that quite a bit in his major league career. In fact, he's a .323 career hitter. Last year, he hit .302.
Well, how interesting of a day today for Todd Helton. Peyton Manning and Todd Helton in the same town.
There you go. And they were college teammates at Tennessee. In fact, Helton, backed up Peyton Manning. They were both the quarterbacks for the Volunteers. Now they'll be reunited as the Broncos sign Peyton Manning today. That is certainly the big buzz in the Mile High City today. The pitch, and that one is in there for a called strike on Helton. 1-1 to count. Helton doesn't hit home runs like he used to. He's had only 37 the last 3 years. He had 14 last year. He still hits a lot of doubles, though. And he is a guy that's hit over 500 of them in his major league career. He and Bobby Abreu, Jose, tied in career doubles, 24th on the all-time list, 554 apiece.
And they keep moving along.
Both players 38 years old. Irvin taking time, delivers the next pitch. That's fouled back to the screen.
You got to wonder, what if Todd Helton's back had stayed healthy over the last 4 or 5 years? The type of numbers he might have right now. Right? Especially in that ballpark, playing half of those games.
In the 2000 season, Helton hit .372 with 42 homers and 147 runs batted in. Here's the pitch, and he waves at that one. He just was looking to fight that pitch off and fouls it off on the left side. After that 2000 season, when he had the 42 homers and 147 RBIs, the following year he had 7 more home runs. He hit 49, and he had just 1 less RBI, 146. Next pitch, pops another one back foul behind the plate.
And because of the back issues, of course, he has not been able to torque as much with his mid-body and his hips to pull the ball more, but he's had a tremendous ability to put the ball in play and great hand-eye coordination. That's why he can still drive the ball and hit some more doubles.
He's also a very solid defensive first baseman. He's won 3 Gold Gloves in his big league career. Santana just bluffed Tulowitzki back to the bag. Tulowitzki will pick his spots running, and of course Irvin's had some troubles in the past holding runners. 1 ball, 2 strikes, second inning, no score. Again a pickoff toss, and the runner gets back Troy Tulowitzki to the bag at first.
Around this time last spring, you might recall, the issue of stealing bases Irvin was brought up to Mike Scioscia, and he didn't seem all that concerned about that.
Right.
Irvin gave up about 28 stolen bases last year.
Right. And the next pitch, and that one is a called third strike. He got him looking on the inside part of the plate. Good looking pitch. Irvin has struck out a pair, both on called third strikes.
This is pitching right here. Pitching 101. Set him up. Fastball's away. Let him look away. And then when you come in that inner lane, you throw a little spin on it. He throws a very good hitter.
Irvin will throw the fastball, sinker. He has an excellent slider. Rarely uses his changeup. Here's the pitch, and that's a strike. Snap throw to first base. Tulowitzki is back. The count on Kadire, 0-1.
So far, so good from what we see from up here in terms of Irvin Santana and finishing off his pitches. No holding back, and good velocity right now too.
Michael Kadire switching leagues, longtime Minnesota Twin, signed with the Rockies in the offseason. He pops this one back foul behind the plate. Wilson is going back, but he's going to run out of room. That one lands in the second row. So it's 0-2 on Michael Kadire. He was an all-star for the first time last season with Minnesota.
It's hard to believe, isn't it?
Yeah. 284
for so many years. He's been the rock over there, especially after Torrey Hunter left.
0-2 the count on him. Right-hander against right-hander. Ramon Hernandez, the catcher, waits on deck. Next pitch on Kadire. He chops one on the third base side. Foul. So we'll do it again with the count holding at 0-2. Around the infield, the Angels have Pujols playing first base, Kendrick at second, Callaspo the third baseman with Ibar at short, Wells in left, Borges in center, Hunter in right, Wilson catching, Santana on the hill. The Angels were here at this ballpark last Tuesday playing the Diamondbacks. They share the facility here with the Rockies. And the pitch, high fly ball lifted into left center field. Let's see who's going to take charge. It'll be Borges, and he's under. He'll put it away, and Tulowitzki has to stay on at first base. So Kadire is retired on the routine flyout. Ramon Hernandez, the next batter.
Gotta love the communication there between Borges and Vernon Wells, because Borges was shaded towards right center field, but he had the best routes because he had the ability to get behind the ball to make that throw into second base. So as you can see, the more they play together, the more they've gotten used to who's range and who's calling it off and all that. And of course, priority as always is the guy in center field.
Ramon Hernandez bats with 2 outs. Runner on at first base. Hernandez with the Reds last season hit .282, but he played in only 91 games. As he checks on that first pitch, it's outside. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
They want him to come over here and take care of the staff, maybe get 105 games out of him. They have a very good young catcher named Wilin Rosario, who also is going to be under Hernandez's eye.
There's the next pitch, and that one is in there for a strike. Count even. It's 1-1. Ramon Hernandez last season with the Cincinnati Reds, just 1 error behind the plate. And he threw out to 37% of would-be base stealers last year, so he did a good job.
Yeah, and we're talking, Terry, about a guy with a lot of miles
right
behind the plate.
Yep.
In both leagues.
He's 35 years old. We saw him a number of years ago when he was with the Oakland A's. Toss over to first. Tulowitzki dives back to the bag.
I think Hernandez has worked with the Oakland A's in those great years of the big 3 with Zito, Mulder, Hudson. Also worked in San Diego with Jake Peavy.
Here's the next pitch on him. He takes that one a little bit low.
And coming from Cincinnati, he was crucial and instrumental in developing guys like Johnny Cueto and Edinson Volquez.
Two balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Infield back the next pitch. That one is foul tipped back behind home. When the Angels step up in the 3rd inning, we're scoreless right now. The batters will be Bobby Wilson, Irvin Santana, and Eric Ibar. Of course, Irvin will be doing nothing but taking pitches when he bats.
Today is a good day for that.
Yep.
You don't want the pitchers, especially when it's cold like this. There'll be some stinging fingers today. And there's been a few already with regular players. Just imagine.
Yeah. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Next delivery, it's chopped by the mound out near second. Fielding the ball is Ibar, flips to Howie, and they force out Tulowitzki. The inning is over on the 6-4 fielder's choice. Not a whole lot happening for the Rockies here in the second. No runs, hits, or errors. A walk. They leave 1. After 2, there's no score on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Fans, don't forget, opening weekend is approaching fast. The 2012 season kicks off Friday night, April the 6th, when the Angels take on the Kansas City Royals at the Big A with game time at 7:05. Opening night will include a pregame flyover and the first Big Bang Friday of the season. Don't miss out on this exciting night and the opening weekend. Purchase your tickets at the Angels Stadium ticket office or at angels.com. So the first batter up for the Halos will be Bobby Wilson. And he's playing in a game for the first time in over a week. 9 days ago is when he suffered that quad problem, a little bit of tightness in his quad. So he's back in there. And here's the first pitch on Bobby. He looks it over. It's in there for a called strike.
It's one of those injuries. If it happens during the regular season, he might have been out maybe 2 or 3 days. But since it's happened early in camp, there's no need to risk any more.
Next pitch, he takes that one low and away. He's had 7 at-bats this spring with 4 hits, so that's a .571 batting average. And Conger's been coming on this spring as well, hitting well for the Angels. The pitch that's in there for a called strike.
Yeah, due to the injury to Iannetta and Wilson, Conger has really done a fine job. Still some things being worked out mechanically and thrown to the bases, but he's had some pretty good at-bats.
Conger made the trip today. We could see some action later on in the game. There's a breaking ball that misses. 2-2 the count.
Bobby Wilson now with a simpler approach. His hands are quieter. He's trying to separate the hands from that step, track the ball better, and put some better swings on the ball.
Nicasio's next delivery, that breaking ball low. And now it's a full count.
It's a simple concept, but it's sometimes so hard to transfer from the batting cages and extra work onto the game because you get so caught up in looking for results. But separating your step, you land a little earlier and then throw the hands back and track the ball.
Here's the 3-2 on Wilson, and he lines one by the third baseman Blake, and it's going to kick down in that left field corner area. Bobby's going to make a turn and then stop at first base. That was a good job by Carlos Gonzalez, a very good defensive outfielder, to limit him to a leadoff single.
As beautifully as possible as you can execute in landing early and just being ready to hit. He struck a good fastball inside. Remember, this is a fastball that 3 Angels right-handed hitters, including Albert Pujols, has gotten jammed on right there, and Bobby Wilson threw that barrel out. Nice piece of hitting.
Yeah, so Wilson hasn't missed a beat after being sidelined for about a week and a half, swinging the bat and getting the hit.
You can tell Ervin Santana has no intention of swinging. He doesn't even have batting gloves on, and it's 50 degrees out here.
So he's at the plate, and he'll be taking pitches here, although he does show a sign of a bunt just to keep him honest, I guess, a little bit. And there's a snap throw to first base, and Wilson dives back. First pitch of ball, it's 1-0.
Well, there are some things that the other manager doesn't need to know.
Right. And Casey Blake is unaware that Santana has been instructed not to swing at a pitch here. Blake is playing in, guarding against a bunt, which if he has no idea what's going on, he's certainly doing the right thing. There's Irvin bluffing a bunt, and then he takes that pitch for a strike.
Oh boy, Irvin looks good.
So Irvin certainly a good decoy right now, if nothing else.
He might be able to get Bobby Wilson a stolen base here. Who knows?
Yeah.
If Helton abandons the bag too early.
1 ball, 1 strike the count. Next delivery, and Irvin taking that pitch for a strike. So he's taken all 3, and 2 of the 3 have been strikes. Irvin's even stepping out of the box.
Well, that's
he's
a good
doing
thing.
A good job right here.
Of course.
He's selling it anyway.
You don't want to break the sequence of the game.
Yeah, he's selling it. The count's 1-2 on him. And the next pitch, he takes that one inside.
That's a wasted sinker right there.
Hey, I think Irvin Santana has another talent. He might be a good actor somewhere down the road right here.
Ask him about that.
There you go.
Get him an audition in Hollywood or something.
Yep, he stepped out of the box again, acting like he was checking out the sign from Dino. Here's the 2-2, and he takes a called third strike, and he's out looking.
Irvin, you look very good, by the way.
Yeah.
But he did his job. I mean, no batting gloves tells you the whole story. Not even an attempt to bunt.
That was an Academy Award performance right there by Santana.
Excellent job. Not very many times you get back to the dugout and people congratulate you for striking out.
And
not swinging the bat.
Irvin was getting kidded by his teammates when he went back to the Angel dugout there. They were impressed with his annex at the plate. So that's the first out. Ibar is the batter with a runner at first base. That's Wilson. Eric was hit on the foot his first time up. And he asks for time, steps out of the batter's box. Fans, don't forget, follow the Angels with MLB.com at Bat12 for your iPhone, your iPad, or your Android. Get spring training scores, stats, highlights, live audio, and more. Text at Bat to 31826 or visit Angels.com for details. Here's the pitch on Ibar. He takes it low and away. 1 ball, no strikes.
Eric Ibar can run. He can split the gaps, and right now where Dexter Fowler is playing center field, anything in a gap will be 3 bases. And of course, a very confident Fowler in center field because he can really go get him.
1 ball, no strikes. Next pitch. Ibar taking, that is low and in.
And also, Terry, for Fowler is the amount of ground he has to cover at home at Coors Field. I mean, this stadium here does him no justice. A lot of territory back home. And it's better to take away that line drive because in Coors Field is over your head and you're just going to keep traveling.
Here's the 2-0. He smacks it on the right side, just out of the reach of Scudero and through into right field. Wilson will stop at second, though, as Kadire quickly gets the ball back to the infield. So Ibar is on for the second time today. The Angels have something brewing with 1 out for Howie Kendrick.
Now, the way Kadire attacked the ball over there in right field was just an indication of knowing how well the Angels run the bases. That philosophy that they also had over Minnesota on being aggressive, but he came in charging like he was a third baseman charging a bunt. And the Angels do like those first to thirds.
So Howie's at the plate. And Kendrick has bounced into a double play his only time up in this ball game. Infield playing it at double play depth, and the first pitch, that's a breaking ball that misses. Juan Nicasio is pitching for the Rockies, bidding for a spot in their rotation. Their starting rotation will certainly have a lot different look when this season begins compared to a year ago. And the next delivery, that one is low and inside.
They brought in a lot of bodies, including, oh yes, the eternal Jamie Moyer.
Yeah.
Jamie Moyer still pitching.
He's hoping to be pitching in the big leagues this year at age 50. 5-0. Here's the next pitch on Kendrick, and he swings and drives the ball deep into center field. That ball is really hit out there in center, and that one is out of here. Howie Kendrick hits a blast out to center field. The home run is third one this spring. 3 runs are in, and it's 3-0 Angels.
Crack of the bat. That's all you needed to hear. And that's all Dexter Fowler needed to see is the travel, the swing, the path of the ball, and he stopped, just became a good fan of this ball right here. Fastball right down the middle.
So Kendrick now with 3 homers, 10 runs batted in. And here is Pujols at the plate, and he takes the first pitch for a ball. It's 1-0.
Maybe how we ought to thank Irvin Santana for getting Nicasio a little tired this inning.
There you go. Here's the next pitch, and that one on Albert. He's taking it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the 1-1 on Albert. That's low and outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. The runs the Angels have scored here in the 3rd inning. The first 3 given up by Nicasio this spring, and that one is fouled off on the left side. So it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Rockies rotation will feature Yolis Chassin and Jeremy Guthrie, who they got from Baltimore during the offseason. Then they have some other young starters, Alex White and Drew Pomerantz, who they got from Cleveland last year.
We got to see Alex White get a start. He has good stuff. Remember, they traded Ubaldo Jimenez to get those bodies here.
Right. The count's full to 3-2. Pujols takes low and outside. He is on with a 1-out walk.
In case you're wondering why Albert Pujols gets on base so much, just consider the at-bat right there. Still a sinker inside. He showed Nicasio, I'm going to be on it. He threw the barrel out, foul ball. And then he is patient even with a full count, knowing that most of the time he's going to get something that pitchers want him to chase. He says no.
Have a little meeting going on at the mound right now with Nicasio.
Nicasio, Terry, made 6 pitches, only 6 pitches in the first inning. He made 18 in the second inning. He's up to 23 here already.
So the hitter for the Angels will be Torrey Hunter. This will be his second at bat today. Torrey grounded out to Pelton at first base, starting off last inning. We're in the third. The Angels have a 3-0 lead. And all 3 of the runs coming in this inning on the deep home run to center off the bat of Howie Kendrick. First pitch on Torrey, takes in there for a called strike.
Torrey having a solid spring. Very consistent in the way he's attacking the ball, staying behind it. Much shorter path to the ball. And a very good 2-strike approach.
Nicasio set, delivers. Torrey fouls that one back behind the plate. As you look out to left field, left center, even out to straightaway center field, you see all the mountains, picturesque setting here at this Salt River Fields at Talking Stick. We're in Scottsdale.
Beautiful venue.
Yep.
One that resembles more the regular season, even with the hitter's eye.
Yeah.
It's amazing how big it is.
Yep. A little different than yesterday. The pitch hopped in the air into left field. A little bit of a late start for Gonzalez, but he still has time to come in. The ball was elevated, and he'll make the catch to retire Torrey. So that's his second out. Vernon Wells will be the next batter.
This beautiful venue is shared by the Diamondbacks and the Rockies. 2 teams that got out of Tucson. And it really does resemble more of the atmosphere, the feel of a regular season game and setup.
Fan-friendly ballpark. Beautiful facility here, and all the minor league fields and the clubhouses. They did a terrific job putting this whole venue together. First pitch misses for a ball. The count 1 ball, no strikes on Wells. He popped out to second to Scutero his first time up. Next pitch, and he lines that one into left field. Coming in is Gonzalez, but he's not going to come in far enough. It drops in front of him, and on is Vernon Wells with a 2-out hit. Gonzalez didn't get a real good jump on that one.
This one was off the end of the bat, and those fingers, look at Vernon Wells going, oh my goodness, in this cold day. It does hurt.
So the batter now is Callaspo with runners on at first and second. Albert Pujols moved up to second base on Vernon Wells' hit with 2 outs. See if Callaspo might drive someone in. He doubled his first time up. That was last inning. Here's the pitch, and that is low and in. Angels have had 5 hits in the game. 4 of them coming in this inning, and then they had the hit by Callaspo last inning. Here's the pitch. That's outside. So the count goes to 2-0. Urban Santana will be staked to at least a 3-run cushion when he bats, or when he's on the hill in the bottom of the third facing their batters. Next pitch on Callaspo, lifted on the left side. That's foul, and it's going to get back and out of play. Some of the other pitchers we'll see today for the Angels: Isringhausen, Hawkins, Jepson, Rodriguez, all slated to pitch. The Angels have brought a number of younger pitchers from minor league camp to fill out the pitching staff if needed today. 2-1 pitch on Callaspo. He swings and misses that one. He was fooled. Took a little something off that pitch. Nicasio has a good changeup.
That was a beautiful pace right there with his arm speed and a great follow through. You see Callaspo sitting dead fastball there.
Yep, and he fooled him with the change. The 2-2. That one is low liner, stepped on one hot nicely by Scudero, and he will throw out Callaspo. That was a good play by the Rockies second baseman. The Angels send 8 to the plate. 3 of them score. 4 of them had hits. 1 of them had a walk. There were no errors and 2 runners left. We're going to the bottom of the third here in Scottsdale. The Angels up on the Rockies 3-0 on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Urban Santana's first pitch as we start the bottom of the third inning. A miss for a ball. The count's 1 ball, no strikes. At the plate, the veteran Casey Blake now playing for the Rockies, and he takes that pitch low again. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Blake, the pitcher, Nicasio, and then the leadoff man Fowler, the batters here in this inning for the Rockies. There's a pitch that's on the inside corner.
Well, unfortunately, again, Terry, Casey Blake has been slowed down by an injury, a neck injury. He's only been limited to 9 at bats so far this spring.
And the next pitch, he takes that one outside. It's now 3-1.
He has had a share of injuries throughout his career.
Yep. Here's the 3-1 pitch. He grounds that one right to short. Scooped up by Ibar. His throw right on the money. And that's the first out. So Blake is still hitless this spring, 0 for 10. And the pitcher Nicasio will step to the plate.
See, look at the difference. Nicasio has his batting gloves on. Actually, he's walking out there like he's a slugger. He's got number 44. Wow. So Irvin, don't take him for granted.
He's a right-handed batter. Their pitcher stepping up. Irvin is ready, and the first pitch right in there down the heart of the plate for a called strike. Irvin not wasting any time. Delivers the next pitch a little bit outside. 1-1 the count.
Really has good zip on his fastball today.
And the 1-1 pitch. That's low and in. The Angels' record this spring: 9 wins, 6 losses, and 1 tie. The tie was yesterday against the Dodgers. The Rockies are 8-7-1. And there's a swing and a miss, and the count level. It's 2-2 on Nicasio.
That was one of those fastballs from Santana that Bobby Wilson sometimes says, I call a four-seamer, but it could come in or it could cut. That one cut.
And the next pitch, that one is a pitch that misses, so it's a full count, 3-2.
And that one came in.
So we'll see what gives on the payoff, and here it comes. He got him looking on the outside corner. A slider struck him out.
I don't know, was that a payback at bat or what? Thanks for the freebie before?
Yep. So Irvin has a strikeout in each of the first 3 innings, 3 so far. Facing the batting order, the first go-around. Now Fowler will bat. Let's pause for station identification here on the Angels Baseball Network. Dexter Fowler batting, and the first pitch is in there on him for a strike. He had it checked on it. Home plate umpire Bill Miller saying that pitch was there. Fowler took a called third strike his first time up. 2 outs, no one on. Santana's retired the last 5 in a row. He's yet to allow a hit in this ball game. He's allowed 1 base runner. And the next pitch missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the next delivery, and he checks that one is outside.
Irvin also working very fast. He is getting the ball, getting the sign, and firing away.
2-1 to count. Angel right-hander delivers, and Fowler rips one into right field. That's going to fall in for a hit. Torrey does a good job to cut it off and hold him to a 2-out single, and the Rockies have their first hit of the day.
That makes Fowler now 2 for 24 this spring.
Scutaro will be the batter. Scutaro had a pretty good year last year with the Red Sox. Ended up batting .299, 7 homers, 54 runs batted in. Veteran player now, 36 years old. Here's the pitch, and he looks that one over. It's in there for a called strike. Scutaro was obtained by the Rockies in the offseason for a pitcher named Clayton Mortensen. Scutaro, good contact man at the plate, very rarely strikes out. In fact, he had more walks than strikeouts last year. He's a career .270 hitter.
It was one of those transactions where following the announcement was said, well, they're trying to clear payroll space. How many times do you hear that with the Boston Red Sox?
Right. Here's the next pitch. He takes it's in there for a strike. Snap throw to first, and Fowler diving back to the bag.
Scutaro, throughout his career, has flown under the radar. Very solid player all around. Never gets all the credit he deserves, especially as a shortstop. The years with Oakland, the years with Boston. For a guy that for many teams, 6-7 years ago was discarded.
Right. Here's the next pitch. He was jammed. He chops that one down to third. Callasco flips to second to Kendrick, and they force out Fowler, and the inning is over on the 5-4 fielder's choice. That's it for the Rockies. They get their first hit. That's all. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. They leave a runner on. We're moving to the 4th inning in Scottsdale. Angels up 3-0 on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Fans, the Angels buy 2, get 2 season seats free plan is back. Choose from 9 packages, which start as low as $8.50 per game. Don't miss a second of the action. Reserve your seats today. Call 888-796-HALO or visit angels.com/season seats. First batter up as we get the 4th underway. Digging in is Peter Borges. He was the only Angel who didn't hit last inning when the Angels scored 3 runs. And here's Borges bunting a ball out in front of home plate, a foul ball. So the count 0-1 on Borges. He'll be followed by Wilson and then the pitcher Irvin Santana. The Angels have 3 runs on 5 hits. And the Rockies no runs, 1 hit. Nicasio delivers. Pitch fouled back to our right, out of play. And it's now 0-2 on Borges.
See Borges gesturing and trying to get that barrel out a little bit more. He got jammed at first at bat when he popped out to the second baseman. The swing seems a little tight right now.
Next delivery, and that one misses low. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count.
And I mean tight when sometimes you have trouble just getting your hands out. Not necessarily extended, but just getting out there.
Nicasio's next delivery, and that is a called 3rd strike, and Borges is out looking. So Nicasio gets his 2nd strikeout.
And when your hands don't feel good, you do a lot of this. You're tentative, not knowing if you're going to get to the pitch and barrel it or not.
Bobby Wilson will bat. He singled and scored last inning. He led that inning off and then came in on the Howie Kendrick 3-run homer. That's been the big blow so far in this game, with the Angels up 3-0 in the 4th. The pitch low and outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Hope you're enjoying the action today on this Monday. Terry Smith along with Jose Mota. Our producer engineer is Darren Chan. Next pitch on Bobby pops this one into the air into left center field. Going back on it and making the grab is the shortstop. Tulowitzki going a long ways to make that catch in shallow left center as he called off Gonzalez and Fowler.
Yeah, that's something that Tulowitzki is very good at. Like so many other things, of course, we said already. But knowing that over in Denver, with his outfielders most of the time playing so deep, you can go out there and have a lot of freedom in fielding a ball. It almost looked like Tulowitzki was a center fielder going after that one.
Yeah. First pitch was in there on Irvin. Next delivery, he takes and that's outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Infield is back, 2 outs. Next pitch, Santana looks at another one, and he will continue to do that here in this at bat.
You see, Terry, more and more of the Rockies players looking at each other going, what's going on here?
And the next pitch, that is in there for a called strike, and Irvin just kind of grins over at their dugout as he heads back to the Angel dugout, a strikeout victim for the 2nd time in 2 innings. No runs, hits, or errors, nobody left. Bottom of the 4th coming up here in Scottsdale. It's 3-0 Angels on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Fans, now is the perfect time to reserve a suite rental for the upcoming Angels season. Suites offer 12 to 36 guests the opportunity to enjoy the game in an intimate, private, and luxurious atmosphere. Suite rentals now offer all-inclusive food and non-alcoholic beverages. To reserve your suite, call 888-796-HALO or visit angels.com/suites. Bottom of the fourth, 3-0 Angels. Irvin Santana ready to work, and his first pitch, it's right in there for a called strike. Carlos Gonzalez batting. Fine young left fielder for the Rockies. He's only 26 years old, but he's played a number of seasons now at the major league level. And the next pitch, he bounces it sharply, but right to second. Stopped there by Howie Kendrick. He will throw him out, and there's one quick out in the bottom of the fourth.
Well, the Rockies not afraid to commit a lot of money and a lot of years to young players, just like they did with Todd Helton. Years ago, they did it with Carlos Gonzalez, who was signed to a 7-year deal. And they've also done it with Troy Tulowitzki.
Tulowitzki signed a 10-year deal. He is under contract through the 2020 season and also a club option for 2021. As the pitch misses for ball one, it's 1 ball, no strikes on Tulowitzki.
We're just talking about the same deal that Ryan Braun has with the Brewers, also through the 2020 season with a 2021 option.
And just when Santana was about ready to come in with the pitch, we heard something on the PA system, so time was called.
Before you know it, they'll call DC to go fix it or something.
There's one that's bounced foul. DC's had his hands full today as it is, so he doesn't have to worry about the PA announcer. 1 ball, 1 strike to count.
We're talking about our great producer engineer Darren Chan. As Terry calls him, Mr. Fix-It.
That's right. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Tulowitzki with the white batting gloves on awaits the next pitch from Irvin, and here it comes. He was fooled by that pitch and did not get a very good swing at all on it.
There's been a lot of players through the years fooled by that slider. Irvin has the ability sometimes to take something off of it.
So he's in front on Tulowitzki, the 1-2 delivery, and he struck him out looking. That was just a fastball, and Tulowitzki was completely baffled that go around against Santana. Struck him out.
Also, you talk about throwing a pitch with conviction. After he saw that check swing, he says, well, he's going to be looking for it again. Let me go with something else. Totally convinced to go with that fastball.
So Irvin looks great today, the pitch, and that is a strike on the outside corner. You would have never known that last Wednesday he was struck on that right shoulder by a vicious line drive.
If he's behind on anything, as mentioned earlier, it's just the amount of innings he's thrown. And amount of pitches right now, he's up to 55.
All 4 of his strikeouts, Jose, have come on called third strikes.
Location.
1-1 to count here, and the next pitch, that one is bounced by the mound and off the glove of Ibar, who's trying to dive and stop it behind second base. That's going to be a 2-out hit for Helton. Ibar is a little bit upset with himself right there, but he did a good job just to even get a glove on it.
Yeah, he is upset. He has set a pretty high standard for himself as a Gold Glover and somebody that takes a lot of pride in whatever he gets to. He's going to try to make a play. Sometimes it looks impossible. He'll go ahead and make that throw.
So Kadire will bat with 2 outs and Helton on over there at first base. Angels with a 3-0 lead. Here's the pitch on Kadire. He takes that one low and inside.
There's one thing for sure here with Bobby Wilson and Santana. Don't worry about Todd Helton. You worry about Kadire right now. A fine hitter himself.
One ball, no strikes. Here's the next pitch. That one is low and away. Kadire, with his new club, the Rockies, is wearing number 3. Of course, he was a longtime Minnesota Twin, and he wears that number 3 in honor of Harmon Killebrew. He's doing that this year. Here's the pitch. He checks his swing on that one, and he went around for a strike.
Not surprising, knowing the type of character that Michael Kadire brings to your organization. and the influence, the impact Harmon Killebrew had on him as a young player.
Yeah. There's a pitch cut on and missed. So a couple of strikes now on Kadire. The count 2-2.
This guy's just a ball player. I mean, there is questions asking him to play third. He did it. Play first. He did it. Play the outfield wherever. Yep. Even some second base he played for the Twins last year.
Here's the next pitch, and he lifts this one in the air into right center field. He hit it well. Chasing after it is Torrey, and he's going to run it down right near the rim of the track. Borges was in pursuit as well. The inning is over on the deep fly out to right center. In the inning, no runs. They had one hit, no errors, and one runner left. Through 4, it's 3-0 Angels on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Fans catch a little luck of the Irish by having your name drawn in the Margin to Cash drawings at Saboba Casino on Wednesday, March the 21st. That's coming up in just a couple of days. You can win your share of up to $160,000 in cash and a new car. Saboba Casino voted the loosest slots 4 years running. So the first batter for the Angels leading things off here in the 5th inning in a 3-0 Angels lead is Eric Ibar, and he takes the first pitch from Nicasio, and that one misses ball 1. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
Ibar has been nothing but a spark plug for the Angels here this spring. He has already scored 11 runs.
And he pops this one in the air into shallow right center. The second baseman Scudero is going to call up the right fielder Kadire and make the grab, and that'll be the first out. Howie Kendrick will be the next batter. And, of course, Howie today had the big hit in this game. And, boy, did he ever put a charge into the pitch from Nicasio and drive it out to center field.
You know, Howie's hitting more no-doubters, Terry. Yeah. I mean, there's some balls he connects, and outfielders just turn around and see it.
Here's a pitch that misses low and in. He had a career-high 18 home runs last year. Certainly capable of reaching the 20 plateau this season.
He has the ability to square a baseball like very few, consistently.
He takes that pitch for a strike. It evens up the count 1-1.
And think about it. I know a lot of kids watching, and grandpas and coaches and parents. 33-inch bat.
Here's the pitch, and that one is fouled back. Now, why is that his preference?
Preference because he can control it. He feels that's where his hands work the best. It's not all about his ego and saying, well, I can use a 34 or 35 because, you know, this guy uses it. No, it's whatever you feel comfortable with.
1-2 on Howie. He fouls that one off the screen.
I mentioned, you know, coaches and grandpas and dads out there that have to listen to what the kid wants to do a little bit more. Mike Socha's a big advocate of that. You know, let the kids decide a lot of things in baseball equipment, what they feel comfortable with.
The pitch he checks on. Did he go around? No, he was holding the appeal, and they say that Howie did not offer at that pitch.
As you know, Terry, we talked to Mike Socha so much about youth baseball, and he is so involved. In fact, one of his fundraisers is in helping youth baseball groups to buy equipment.
Right.
But he wants that message sent. Parents, stay out of the way.
2-2 pitch. Howie hits one out to the third baseman. Blake has it. Easy play to first, and it's in time for the second out. Albert Pujols will bat. Fans, the ultimate fan experience is back on Sunday, April the 22nd. The Angels will host Fan Fest at the Big A. All fans in attendance have the chance to meet select 2012 Angels, take a photo with the rally monkey, listen to live music, and conclude the day watching the Angels take on the Orioles at 12:35. For more info and to purchase tickets, visit angels.com/fanfest. First delivery on Albert. He takes a called strike.
If you watch Albert's hands, that's where his timing is involved. He wants a little movement there.
And that pitch there, he was really fooled. A breaking ball. He was way out in front. He's down no balls, 2 strikes. Nicasio's pitch, and he gets Pujols on 3 straight. Struck him out, and that'll end the inning again. He got him with a breaking ball low and away. Quiet Angels 5th inning. The Angels in the inning don't get it out of the infield. No runs, hits, or errors, and no one left. Bottom of the 5th coming up here at Salt River Fields at Talking Stick in Scottsdale. The Angels still leading at 3-0 on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. We get set to move to the bottom of inning number 5. New pitcher for the Angels, Irvin Santana, who had a little trouble actually leaving the stadium. He had the outfield wall door locked out there, and Irvin had to knock on the door before they let him go. I guess they were upset how well he pitched here against the Rockies, but his day is done, and he was outstanding. And now Troy Hawkins will take over for the Angels. We'll give you Irvin's numbers in just a moment. Santana doing a fine job here in his 4 innings. But Troy Hawkins on the hill, and the first pitch was a ball, the 1-0. It's skied in the air into shallow left field. Ibar is circling under, waiting for it to come down, and he will make the catch on that one to get Ramon Hernandez, and 1 quick out in the Rockies' 5th inning.
Hey fans, the 2nd annual Angels 5K and Fun Run will take place April 22nd. Participants will run and walk on a baseball themed course that goes through Angel Stadium and finishes at FanFest. All participants receive a commemorative shirt and a voucher for a future Angels game. So sign up today at angels.com/5K.
Casey Blake, the batter against Hawkins, and his first pitch, that one misses low.
And the proceeds from the event will benefit the Angels Baseball Foundation.
All right. Hawkins, as he works here in his first inning in relief of Urban Santana, gets the sign. The 1-0 pitch, that one is up and in. This appearance for the veteran reliever is fourth. No wins, no losses, no saves. 9.00 ERA. 3 innings, he's allowed 6 hits, 3 earned runs. No walks, 2 strikeouts. Next pitch, a liner, but right to the third baseman, Cayaspo. He hardly had a move. It was hit right at him about eye level, and that'll be the second out. Nicasio, the pitcher, is slated to bat. Looks like we're going to get a pinch hitter for him. Chris Nelson will be the pinch hitter. So Nicasio as a batter went 0 for 1, and as a pitcher, 5 innings, allowing 3 runs all earned. Urban Santana, the Angels starter, he went 4 innings, gave up 2 hits, no runs today. Outstanding outing for him as Nelson swings and misses that pitch from Hawkins. Urban Santana, the starter, walked 1, and in the strikeout department, he finished up with 4.
No ill effects whatsoever for Urban after being hit by a line drive on his throwing shoulder.
Here's a bouncer hit right to Howie Kendrick, the second baseman. He'll retire Nelson, the pinch hitter, and Troy Hawkins mows him down here quietly in the inning as he throws only 7 pitches. No runs, hits, or errors. Nobody left here in the 5th. We move on to the 6th inning. It's 3-0 Angels on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. New pitcher in the ball game for Colorado, Ismael Rogers, will take over for Juan Nicasio. Nicasio in the ball game worked 5 innings. The Angels had a total of 5 hits against him. 3 runs, they were earned. He walked 1, hit 1, gave up a home run. And in the strikeout department, Nicasio struck out 4. Also retired the final 7 in a row in the game. So Angels set the bat with Torrey Hunter facing the reliever Ismael Rogers, and the first pitch, that one misses inside for a ball. Fans, the University of Michigan's Ross School of Business now offering their executive MBA in LA. The pitch, it's fouled off on the right side, backing out of play. Torrey today has grounded out and flied out. He'll be followed by Vernon Wells and Alberto Callaspo. Angels have a 3-0 lead here in Scottsdale against the Rockies. The pitch. That's fouled back, not too far away from our booth. Backing out of play. Torrey will usually foul a pitch back every once in a while near our booth.
He's been known for that, also contributing to some destroying of some equipment.
That's unfortunately the truth right there. There's a swing and a miss, and he's down on strikes. So Hunter 0 for 3 today. Rogers gets his first strikeout, and the batter will be Vernon Wells.
We got to tell the story.
That was in Seattle, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was Seattle. Terry Smith with his little laptop. And here comes a foul ball that happens to strike the laptop right on target.
Right. It hit the screen part, the cover part of the screen.
Just like that one, too.
Right. Knocked it right off the table and put it out of commission. But luckily for me, Jose, it was still under warranty.
You know, the other thing is we're trying to keep it away from Torrey Hunter knowing. Remember that?
Right.
Let's make sure Torrey Hunter doesn't know about it.
I don't want him to feel bad. So we've kind of just kept that amongst ourselves and our radio and now our Fox Sports West audience as well. The pitch. That one's lined into right center field, coming in and lunging forward and making a snow cone catch on that one is Dexter Fowler. You can cover some ground out there. And he proved it right there as he takes a hit away from Vernon Wells.
So that speed he has, those long strides coming in. And covering all that ground.
So that's the second out. Sinking liner retires Vernon. Here's Callaspo.
Fowler is one of those players that they've had to slow down and have him take a step back sometimes because of his development in the big leagues. Has not been as projected.
They actually sent him to the minors for a month during midseason a year ago. The pitch, that one bounces in, and that one got a piece of the catcher Hernandez, but he appears to be okay. Ismael Rogers had a tough year last year with the Rockies. He started 13 games for them, pitched 5 times in relief. His ERA last year was 7.05, and that pitch is low and outside.
He is a converted position player, and sometimes in his delivery you can see a little bit of that. Did not have success obviously as a hitter, and they loved his arm.
Former shortstop, and the pitch on its way. That one is outside. 3-1 the count. He gave up 14 home runs last year in 83 innings. And the 3-1 pitch. That is a called strike. How has Rogers fared this spring? Well, the ERA is still high, 9.00. 4 earned runs in 4 innings. And the 3-2 delivery. That time he gets the best of Callaspo. Struck him out swinging, and he has a 1-2-3 inning against the Angels here in the top of the 6th. No runs, hits, or errors, nobody left. Bottom of the 6th coming up. Still 3-0 Angels here in Scottsdale on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Veteran right-hander Jason Isringhausen taking over for LaTroy Hawkins. Hawkins worked the bottom of the 5th inning and retired 3 in a row. He's actually getting some action in the bullpen right now, LaTroy Hawkins, since he only threw 7 pitches in the bottom of the 5th. Isringhausen, Jose, becomes the 3rd pitcher of the day.
Yeah, Terry, you don't see that very often with relievers in spring training. Not getting enough pitches in and then having to go work. But here comes the big man Easy with 300 career saves.
And the first pitch, that one misses a little bit low. He's facing their leadoff man in their batting order today, Dexter Fowler. And Fowler so far in the ball game has a single and 2 times up. He had that nice catch in center field as well, and he swings and foul tips that one into the mid of Bobby Wilson. It's 1 ball, 1 strike.
Isringhausen, one of those guys. Mike Scioscia says he knows what he needs to do to get ready for a season. He is healthy. In his first outing, he was the guy that had a great feel for his curveball, and we saw it right there. Spots his fastball well.
2 balls, 1 strike. Here's the next pitch. Hard hit grounder on the right side. Fielded there by Howie Kendrick, and Fowler is an easy out. There's 1 away. As Isringhausen works this appearance, it's just his 2nd, and he's had a scoreless inning, retiring 3 in a row so far in an Angel uniform. Scutaro will be the next batter.
Some high praises this morning from Mike Scioscia about his bullpen, but a guy named Kevin Jepson, Terry, and rightfully so.
Yep, Jepson, the Angels have really been impressed with his 4 outings and his velocity and even his command. And Mike Scioscia was alluding to the fact that he feels that Jepson looks like the same pitcher that he saw back in the 2010 season when Jepson was a big part of the Angel bullpen. Here's a bouncer hit again to Howie. He fields this one here 2nd, and he throws out Scutaro. So 1 second baseman retires another. 2 are gone, and Carlos Gonzalez will bat.
Oh, yeah, with Isringhausen hopefully throwing the ball well and making the team out of spring training. You got Hawkins, you got Downs, you got Takahashi. It's starting to be formed as a very deep bullpen with a lot of experience and some very healthy arms.
Yeah, the Angels will probably go with 7 relievers. And right now, the Angels have about 12 in the mix for the 7 spots. Here's the next pitch, and that's a liner just out of the reach of Ibar. He tried to nab that one as he was going to his right. A step or 2 back on the outfield grass, but just out of his reach. So Carlos Gonzalez has a 2-out hit. That's only the 3rd hit today for the Rockies.
We talk about all those names and spots and all that, Terry, and that's without seeing a Bobby Cassava throw yet.
Right.
It was huge for the Angels at the end of last year.
But just looking at the names, you have Walden and Downs. You mentioned some of these already. Takahashi, Hawkins, Isringhausen, Jepson, Thompson, Francisco Rodriguez, Brad Mills, Trevor Bell, Bobby Cassava, and Michael Kahn. That's 12 names right there for at most 7 bullpen spots, and some of those spots are locks, obviously.
You can lock up Takahashi, you can lock up Downs, you can lock up Walden.
Hawkins pretty much a
lock up
given.
Hawkins,
Yep.
Major League contract.
Right. There's a toss over to first base, and the runner dives back. So pitching wise, the Angels have gotten a little bit deeper, which is a good thing, because sooner or later you're going to have a few breakdowns during the course of the regular season.
It happens.
Yeah.
Every team.
Here's the next pitch. Tulowitzki at the plate. He takes a breaking ball. That one evens up the count. It's 1-1.
And even with Jerome Williams out all spring, you see a Garrett Richards just throw the heck out of the ball. And right now, to me, he is the leading guy to make that start April 15th. And the Angels will leave the number 5 starter. And not to take away from Brad Mills and the job he's done, the new lefty.
And of course, Jerome Williams is yet to pitch for the Angels. And the way it looks, he'll throw a bullpen midweek. And then the Angels will see where he's at with that. And then if things work out, next step soon thereafter would be to pitch in some sort of a game here in Arizona, whether it be in a minor league game or game with the Angels. Runner at first goes. The pitch is a ball. Throw down to second, and just sliding in under the tag is Gonzalez. That was a nice throw by Bobby Wilson. It was right on target, but just a little late.
Excellent release by Bobby Wilson. Now, teams know about Jason Isringhausen. Of course, Jim Tracy knows about the veteran on the mound, who was very deliberate when it comes down to holding runners.
So they get a runner at second. And if I'm not mistaken, Jose, it's the first time they've gotten a runner to second base. They never did it against Santana.
He stopped them quickly.
And Hawkins did not allow any runners. Here's the pitch. Isringhausen has that one bounce over the mound. Let's see who's going to field. Ibar, no throw to first base as Tulowitzki can run. But Ibar and Kendrick converged on that one. And Eric did the right thing. He really didn't have a chance to get the out in first, so he held on to the baseball. It's an infield hit, and runners at the corners.
I'll tell you, somebody else who did the right thing is Jason Isringhausen, and not trying to jump up and maybe land awkwardly on the mound or the back of that mound, as he has had his share of injuries throughout his career. Just one of those plays you can't make.
So here is Todd Helton. He's hitting out of the 5-hole, and he's had a hit today. He's 1 for 2. The right-hander Isringhausen, a battle of veterans right here. And the first pitch, that one right in there for a called strike.
He'll throw a tough fastball, 4-seam fastball. Very rarely a changeup, but a good hook.
Yeah, it is a very good curveball, probably his best pitch.
It's an all-time hook.
0-1 the count. Next delivery, that one bounces in. It gets away from Wilson, and it's going to go back over by the Ron Deck circle. So coming in and scoring will be Gonzalez on the wild pitch. And moving up to second base will be Tulowitzki. The Rockies get their first run here in the 6th inning. It's now 3-1 Angels.
And it is that hook that gets him in trouble here as he overspun this one and bounced it about 55 feet with delivery.
Isringhausen working in just his second game this spring. Joined the Angels a little bit late as far as when the Angels signed him. They signed him to a minor league deal on the 22nd of February. 2 balls, 1 strike. Isringhausen is 39 years old. He'll turn 40 on September the 7th. 2 balls, 1 strike the count on Helton. Runner at second, and the next pitch. That's way high. It's 3-1. The Angels have been getting some very good pitching the last few games here in the Cactus League. Here's the 3-1. That is high and outside, ball 4. So Isringhausen got the first 2 batters on those ground balls to Howie Kendrick, but with 2 outs they put 3 in a row on, and now Michael Kadire will be the next hitter.
This that bat right here just showed some lack of command and not a consistent release point or landing spot for him. Even the ball Gonzalez hit to left field with a cut fastball that he did not get extended on, just happened to find the hole to the right of Ibar.
Chad Tracy is going to pinch run for Helton, so he's the runner at first, and the first pitch on Kadire, it's up and in for a ball. One ball, no strikes the count. They have the go-ahead run at the plate. Here's the next pitch. Swing and a miss. Fooled was Kadire. So the count even. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Kadire is batter number 6 against Isringhausen here in this inning. And keep in mind, he retired the first 2 in a row. He's set. Here's the 1-1 pitch. A little bit low and outside. Hernandez, the catcher, would be up next. Isringhausen is ready. A look at second base. The 2-1 pitch. Fouled back to the screen. We'll do it again. The count 2-2. Fans, Angels baseball is back. Individual game tickets for the 2012 season are now on sale. Make your plans to take in Big Bang Fridays, Family Sundays, many promotional nights, and great opponents like the Yankees and the Red Sox. Purchase tickets today at Angels.com or the Angels Stadium ticket office. 2-2 the count. Next pitch. It's a fly ball. It's hit well to center field. Going after it hard as Borges has a beat on it at the rim of the track. He'll gather it in, and that will end the inning. Dyer put a charge into that one, but that ball hit about 400 feet to dead center for the final out. In the inning, they do get a run. They had 2 hits, a walk, no errors. They leave a pair. 6 complete. We head to the 7th here in Scottsdale. The Angels have a 3-1 lead on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports. Fans, the Angels 20-game flex plan gives you the chance to choose the 20 games you want to see during the regular season. This plan has no blackout dates, a postseason option, and you receive a ticket to Fan Appreciation Day for free. Buy your flex plan today at angels.com/mini-plans or call 888-796-HALO. First batter up for the Angels is Peter Borges. He fouled the first pitch off the count, 0-1. We have a lot of changes now across the board defensively for the Rockies, so we'll pick those up. A couple of former Angels are in the game right now, and there's a swing and a miss, and the count 0-2. The new catcher is Will Nieves, former Angel. The new shortstop is Brandon Wood, ex-Halo.
That is it, Mr. Brandon Wood.
Zach Putnam is the new pitcher for the Rockies, and his next delivery, that one is swung on and missed, and down on strikes for the second time today is Peter Borges. There's one gone in the 7th.
He just has not looked comfortable at all in extending those hands and letting that whip happen.
The rest of the infield for the Rockies, Chad Tracy is playing first base. Jonathan Herrera is playing second. Chris Nelson is the third baseman. He replaced Casey Blake. Here's Bobby Wilson batting, and he takes that pitch outside for a ball. It's 1-0. Andrew Brown is the left fielder. Charlie Blackmon is the center fielder, and Tyler Coleman is the new right fielder. Here's the 1-0. And checking the swing on that one is Bobby Wilson. It's ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Zach Putnam, the new pitcher. He replaces Rogers, who set the Angels down 1-2-3 last inning with a pair of strikeouts. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Wilson chops that one foul right in front of the plate.
And the first baseman, Chad Tracy, is the son of manager Jim Tracy.
Yeah.
It's all in the family. What a great privilege to see your son play for you.
On deck.
Well, maybe Mike Socia will have that opportunity as well.
It could happen this spring.
Yeah. Here's the pitch, and that is a strike on the outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Putnam is a right-hander. Here's his next pitch. That is low and outside. It misses. So the count runs full. It's now 3 balls, 2 strikes. Zach Putnam fastball will top out around 96. He has a good arm. He was with the Indians a little bit last year. He came over in the Kevin Slowey deal. And there's a pitch on a 3-2 that's low and outside, and it's a 1-out walk. So Bobby Wilson is on.
Got to have a good eye and a pretty good hitting approach to lay off of that pitch with that count. And for Bobby Wilson's area, as you were talking about, it's like he just has not missed a beat.
Yeah.
Showing a good eye, good patience.
Well, I'm sure Bobby Wilson aware of what Hank Conger has been doing of late. He has stepped up his game.
Well, and keep in mind that Bobby Wilson knows his role so well, and there's going to be times when he doesn't play for a week or 10 days or even 2 weeks, and he needs to keep that same simple approach, work hard, and stay ready.
And speaking of Conger, he is going to bat right now, so he will be batting out of Isringhausen's spot, the pitcher's spot, the number 9 spot. Here's the pitch on Hank. He takes that one for a strike. Conger in the Cactus League. He is hitting right at 300. 9 for 30. No homers, couple doubles. He's driven in 3 runs.
Infield playing him to pull the ball. You don't see that very often with a young player like this.
Here's the next pitch on Conger, and he does hit it on the right side, but right at the second baseman. They flip to second for 1, and Wood's relay is in time, and that will end the inning. Brandon Wood, after he fired to first base, he was going back out to play shortstop, but the inning comes to an end on that double play. Angels go down quickly here in the 7th. No runs, hits, or errors, a walk, and in the inning, no one left. 7th inning stretch time here at Salt River Fields at Talking Stick in Scottsdale. Angels lead at 3-1 on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West.
2000.
As we get set to move to the bottom of the 7th inning, the Angels are going to make a number of changes defensively. There's a new pitcher in the ball game, and Kevin Jepson, we were talking about him a little bit earlier. He will take over, replacing Jason Isringhausen. Isringhausen worked last inning against the Rockies, and he did allow a run, the only run they've scored. 1 inning of work, 2 hits, a run earned against Isringhausen, who walked a batter while pitched in a run and did not strike out anyone. So Kevin Jepson is the new pitcher for the Halos. And also looking at the infield, Efren Navarro is now at first base. Jorge Cantu is at third base. Darwin Perez is the new shortstop. Cole Calhoun is the new left fielder, and Alexi Amarista is the new center fielder. And it looks like Torrey's still out there in right field. Howie is still playing second.
Seems more and more like those two will get an off day tomorrow to match it up with the off day on Wednesday.
Here's the pitch. That one is bounced out near second. A diving try by Perez, the new shortstop, but it's out of his reach, and the ball skips through into center field. It's a leadoff hit. So that was Will Nieves batting for the first time, a former Angel. He singles. And the next batter is going to be another former Angel, Brandon Wood. Let's pause for station identification here on the Angels Baseball Network. Terry Smith, Jose Mota, our producer engineer Darren Chan with you here in Scottsdale. It's 3-1 Angels on top of the Rockies here in the bottom of the 7th. Jepson's next delivery, that one is low and outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Kevin Jepson has looked good so far this spring.
Brings in a 2.25 ERA. 4 strikeouts in 4 innings.
Here's the pitch, and that is a strike on the outside corner.
Brandon Wood got off to a very hot start with a bat here with the Rockies, to the point where Troy Tulowitzki had been advocating for him to be on the squad to open up the season. He's cooled off a little bit, though.
He's hitting .250 now with the Rockies this spring as he fouls that one back. He's gone 7 for 28. And he's yet to homer. He's driven in a couple runs. He's had a pair of doubles and a pair of triples. Also committing a pair of errors in the field.
I think it just have not panned out as planned for Brandon Wood after his successful minor league career. And even after his waiver claim to the Pirates last year.
Here's the pitch on Wood, and he swings and misses that one, and that is strikeout number 1 today for Kevin Jepson as he polishes off his former teammate.
And unfortunately, the Angels saw a lot of that.
So Wood is retired. Brandon Wood, between the Angels and the Pirates last year, hit .216. And the year before that with the Angels in 2010, of course, he hit under 200, 146 that year.
And I know he had some callers last year after he got a couple of hits with the Pirates saying, see, he's going to start hitting now because he went to the Pirates.
Didn't happen. There's a swing and a miss. And Nelson batting. The count on him, 0-1. Nelson came into the ball game back in the 5th inning as a pinch hitter and grounded out to second. Right-handed batter. Jepson delivers, and it's a bouncing ball that's hit softly to short. They go to second for 1, relay to first, and the Angels turn a double play, and the inning is over. Nicely done by Darwin Perez, playing out there at shortstop. 6-4-3 on the twin killing, and that's it for the Rockies here in their half of inning number 7. No runs, they had a hit, no errors, and nobody left. To the 8th inning we go. It's 3-1 Angels on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Cold weather here in the valley, and less than 2 hours away up around Flagstaff, Jose. They got about, what did I see? Something like 24 inches of snow over the last 24 hours or so.
Surprising, north of here, a lot of snow.
Yep.
You don't see that many fans bundled up in the spring training game.
Absolutely.
52 degrees at the beginning of this ball game.
But the good news is it's going to warm up, so keep your fingers crossed, especially if you're planning on coming out later this week to see the Angels in action here in Arizona. We're going to the 8th inning in this one. It's 3-1 Angels leading the Rockies, and the first pitch, that one is a little bit low for a ball to count. 1 ball, no strikes. Josh Renicky is the new pitcher, and we'll tell you a little bit more about him in a moment as that pitch is in there for a strike.
Well, the name sounds familiar, of course.
Sure does. And there is a connection to the former Angel bench coach and manager of the Brewers. There's a ground ball. It's hit to second. Herrera is the new second baseman, and his throw is in time over to first base, and there's one away. So Amarista, who is batting for the first time, he is set down. Howie Kendrick will be the next batter. Howie's had a good ball game. He's had the big hit in this game for the Angels, a 3-run homer back in the 3rd inning. And that's been all the runs the Angels have needed so far as we play here in the 8th. He takes that pitch for a called strike. 0-1 to count. Josh Renicky, his father is Gary Renicky, and his uncle is Ron Renicky. We were talking about Ron just a moment ago. Josh played baseball and football at UCLA and appeared in 19 games for the Rockies last year in relief. Had an 0-0 record, 3.78 ERA. Next pitch, Howie hits one hard into right field. Colvin is going back, and he'll make the catch right at the rim of the track. That's the second out.
Another ball coming off the bat of Howie Kendrick. That sounds pretty loud and showing that power and the ability to drive the ball to every part of the field. His strength is that right there. Left center to the right field pole.
The batter is Cole Calhoun, the left-handed hitter. He's playing in left field for the Angels. Replaced Vernon Wells out there. Calhoun is hitting .382 this spring, and he takes that pitch low and inside. What was it, Jose? Just a couple years ago, we saw Josh Renicky with the Toronto Blue Jays.
Blue Jays, yep.
Yeah. That's when Ron Renicky was still on the Angel coaching staff. Here's the next pitch. Calhoun lifts one in the air into left center field. He puts a pretty good charge into this one, but camping under and making the grab is Blackman, the center fielder, who makes the catch in left center field, and the Angels are retired 1-2-3 here in the top of the 8th. In the inning, no runs, hits, or errors. Nobody left. Bottom of the 8th we go. Angels are leading it 3-1 on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. A few more changes for the Angels defensively as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. The new battery, Francisco Rodriguez on the hill, Robinson Diaz, the new catcher. Andrew Romine is now playing second base. Howie Kendrick's day is done. Cole Calhoun, who was in left, moves over to right. Torrey Hunter leaves the game, and Ryan Langerhans takes over in left field. So those are the changes now for the Angels in the field as we go to the bottom of the 8th. It's 3-1 Angels. Rodriguez is set. Here's his first pitch today, and that is right in there for a called strike. 0-1 is the count as he is facing Charlie Blackmon, left-handed batter, batting for the first time today. He's hitting out of Fowler's leadoff spot in their batting order. Here's the pitch. That is low for a ball, and the count even. It's 1 ball, 1 strike.
Here's another arm Mike Socha has been talking about, and the way Francisco Rodriguez has bounced back from serious shoulder injury last year.
He's ready. Here's the next delivery. That one is lined into center field. Amarista is going back, has a beat on it, and makes a nice catch on that one. Just had it under control and gathers it in for the first out.
Well, if he didn't, he really did a good job selling it, Terry. A little bad out there. Who's that? Francisco Rodriguez trying to find him. Where is he? He's had a good spring with the bat and showing a lot of versatility and playing the outfield and the solid second base.
Francisco Rodriguez, who's on the hill, replacing Kevin Jepson, who worked last inning for the Angels, had a 1-2-3 inning with a strikeout. Angels turned a double play in the inning behind him. He didn't allow any runs. And the first pitch, it's in there for a called strike. Herrera is the batter, and this is his first time up. He swings from the left side. Next delivery, that's low and in, almost caught him on the foot.
And Rodriguez making his case and saying, don't forget about me. He is not on the 40-man roster anymore, though.
Jonathan Herrera, switch hitter. Gives you some versatility. Can play a lot of infield positions, and he takes that one low. 2 balls, 1 strike. Herrera has a connection to one of his Colorado teammates. It goes back a number of years. The pitch, there's a swing and a miss, and that one evens up the count 2-2. He and Carlos Gonzalez were childhood friends, and now Major League Baseball teammates. How about that?
From a long line of fine Venezuelan players.
Yeah. The 2-2. That one is fouled off his foot.
Oh, on a cold day, that's going to hurt way more.
You got it.
Oof. No wonder he's down on the ground right now.
So he's still adjusting things as he's gotten up.
It's all due to the tight spin and the cut fastball Rodriguez throws inside. And Herrera got the top of it.
Hit it off his front foot as he bats left-handed, his right foot.
You go right back in there right now as a pitcher. What's the issue?
1 out, no one on. Angels up 3-1, bottom of the 8th. Next pitch. This one is popped in the air into left field. Langerhans coming in, dives, and he makes the catch. Nicely done. Boy, there have been a lot of plays when Langerhans has been in games where he has been tested, and he got an A+ on that one.
Yeah, he did. A little bit of a late jump because where he was playing shaded towards left center field, but made up the nice ground out there with those long strides and using that veteran knowledge.
So that is out number 2 here in the bottom of the 8th. Stepping up to the plate now is Andrew Brown. He's been in the game in left field for them, one of their reserves, now in action, batting for the first time, and he fouls that one off to catcher Diaz. The count, no balls, 1 strike. Fans Welk Resorts and Angels Radio AM 830 have teamed up to bring you the official AM 830 fan club. Get AM 830 event and team news and updates all season long. Log on to am830fanclub.com. That's am830fanclub.com. And don't forget, the first Big Bang Friday of the season is coming up. Opening night, that'll be on April the 6th when the Angels kick off the season against the Royals. Game time that night, 7:05. You can come out to the Big A, enjoy a spectacular start of the new season. Tickets are available at the Angels Stadium ticket office and at angels.com. Here's the 0-1. Lifted in the air down the right field side. He gives it a ride. Calhoun is out by the wall, and that ball is out of here. It's a home run. Andrew Brown has homered here to move the Rockies to within a run. That home run, his second this spring. He's had a good spring for them, hitting over 350. And now it's a 3-2 Angels lead with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th.
That's one thing about Rodriguez. He is more effective when he's repeating inside against lefties because of the fastball he throws. But against righties, he has had his issue of trouble because he does not have a true put-away, sharp breaking ball.
So the batter now is Tyler Colvin. This is his first at bat. Swings from the left side, and he takes that one for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes the count. Rodriguez retired the first 2 batters easily and then has allowed a 2-out homer. Here's the next pitch on Colvin. That one is low. He was with the Cubs last year, and he came over from the Cubs in the Ian Stewart deal during the offseason.
Yeah, there's a time when Rodriguez was throwing the ball so good for the Angels, and during an interleague series at Wrigley, Tyler Colvin hit a home run off of him, and he never recovered. He became shy of the strike zone, started feeling for his pitches, starting to get too fine, and yes, here they meet again. I recall that home run vividly.
Yep. Colvin hit 20 home runs that year.
Lou Piniella absolutely loved this player.
Yep, that was the 2010 season, and the pitch, that one is a little bit in there. That actually caught the corner about knee high. It's going to be a called strike.
And Colvin's issue so far in the big leagues is hitting anything with a wrinkle. He can absolutely destroy a fastball.
He hit just 150 last year with the Cubs and eventually went down in the minors, and here he grounds the ball shortly. A nice stop by Navarro, who's so good defensively at first base, and he will beat Colvin to the bag and rob him of maybe extra bases there with that play over at first base. The inning is over. They do get a run on one swing of the bat, the home run off the bat of Andrew Brown. That was the only hit in the inning. There were no errors and nobody left. So we head to the 9th. The Angels nursing a 3-2 lead here in Scottsdale. The Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Andrew Romine is the batter for the Angels. He looks at the first pitch from the new reliever Carlos Torres, and that one misses for a ball. The count 1 ball, no strikes. So Torres becomes pitcher number 5 of the day for the Rockies. And Romine batting for the first time today, swings at the next pitch and lifts it in the air into shallow left field. Brown, who hit the home run in the bottom of last inning, will make the catch on that one. And that will be out number 1 here in the Angels' 9th. Angels leading at 3-2 as we get the 9th inning underway. Jorge Cantu will be the next batter. Josh Renicky, who worked last inning for the Rockies, had a 1-2-3 inning. Didn't strike out anyone, and Torres now pitching for them. Torres has the side. Here comes the first pitch on Cantu. That's up and in for a ball.
Cantu, Terry, a veteran player who's come in and had a nice impact on his ball club. Already with 4 RBIs, hitting .296.
Torres on the hill for the Rockies. He's done a nice job this spring. A 1.80 ERA. There's a line shot into left field. That's going to fall in for a base hit. So Cantu keeps on swinging a hot bat. He came into the ball game here in the Cactus League hitting .296. That'll push him over the 300 mark now. And Navarro will be the next batter.
There's no doubt Efrain Navarro carries a big league glove out there. And a big league gold glove, I would say.
Yeah, he can really play first base.
Came into his own more as a hitter last year. Started driving the ball, and his numbers second half of the season were brilliant with the bat.
The pitch, he fouls that one off on the left side. His numbers in the AAA last year gained him a promotion up to the Angels. He hasn't hit much this spring with the Angels, though. Just 2 for 17. That's a 118 batting average. He swings from the left side against Torres. Carlos Torres signed with the Rockies during the offseason, a non-roster player. And there's a pitch that's in there for a strike. They also have another pitcher that is their property, Joe Torres. Remember him, Jose?
Joe Torres, yes.
Former Angel first-round pick back in 2000. And Joe Torres, who pitched in Double-A last year and actually pitched pretty well, a left-hander, has been suspended for 50 games under the minor league baseball drug program. Tested positive for amphetamines. And so he will not be able to play in the first 50 games this year, likely in the minors. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count on Navarro. The next pitch, and he takes a called third strike. Thought about chasing that pitch, ended up taking it, and that was the wrong decision. He strikes out looking. So 2 gone in the 9th.
A well-pitched ball game on both sides, and the relievers have really done a good job in locating pitches and finishing off hitters. That's another example right there.
Yeah, we'll see what the Angels do bullpen wise when we get to the bottom of the 9th. If the Angels will stay with Francisco Rodriguez or bring in one of the young pitchers that has traveled here today with the Halos.
There's somebody warming up right now.
All right. There's a pitch that misses. And the count. It goes to 1 ball, no strikes.
And it looks like Steven Geltz is warming up.
So he's going to be on the spot when we get to the bottom of the 9th in all likelihood. Perez batting here, and he puts a charge into one into straightaway center field. Blackman is going back. He has a beat on it, and right near the rim of the track, a ball that was hit about 400 feet. It's caught by Charlie Blackman, and the inning is over. Perez gave it a ride, but the Angels are retired in the 9th. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on base. The bottom of the 9th is coming up here at Salt River Fields at Talking Stick in Scottsdale. Angels have a 3-2 lead on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Well, Francisco Rodriguez will stay in the game for the Angels, working in his second inning of relief. He faces Chad Tracy as we begin the bottom of the ninth. And the first pitch, it's hit in the air into left field, but a routine play for Langerhans. He's under. He'll make the catch, and that's the first out here in the bottom of the ninth. Chad Tracy, the son of the Rockies manager Jim Tracy, batting for the first time, flying out to left. So one away. Looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter now for the Rockies. This would be their pitcher spot, and this is Wilkin Castillo, a switch hitter who will bat, and he will bat from the left side his first time up. Here's the pitch. He takes that one for a called strike. Castillo is hitting .364 this spring, 4 for 11 with 5 runs batted in. Here's Rodriguez's delivery. It's a ground ball through the left side, so he has another hit. That keeps up his hot hitting. And they have the potential tying run on. 1 out, bottom of the ninth. Will Nieves slated to bat. And Nieves got a hit his first time up. That was last inning. 7th inning, should say. Bottom of the 7th, his first time up. So Castillo is the base runner over at first. Ready is Francisco Rodriguez. Has the sign. A peek at first. The pitch. Nieves grounds one on the third base side. A fair ball. It's by Cantu, and it's down in the left field corner. Just getting to it is Langerhans. It's going to be a double, and they'll have runners at second and third with 1 out here in the bottom of the ninth. Will Nieves has come off the bench and in the last 3 innings picked up 2 hits. Was hitting .364 for them this spring. So now Brandon Wood will bat. Wood was a strikeout victim his first time up. A hit here could win the game for the Rockies. It would certainly tie it. And Rodriguez is in trouble. Angels trying to nurse this 3-2 lead. Runners at second and third. 1 out. Bottom of the ninth. Here's the pitch. And the first one misses low. 1 ball, no strikes. We saw Brandon Wood, of course, for many years with the Angels, and it just didn't play out for him. Now he's facing the Angels with this Cactus League game on the line. A hit could win this ball game. Rodriguez is ready, and the pitch. It's lifted in the air into right center field. He gave it a good ride. It's going to be caught, though, by Calhoun. Tagging at third base, and coming in to score is Castillo. And also tagging and moving over to third base is Nieves on the sac fly. So Brandon Wood has tied this game up. 3-3 here in the bottom of the ninth. 2 outs. They have the winning run at third. Nelson will be the batter. The Angels played to a tie yesterday. That was the game called after 5.5 innings against the Dodgers. So it's 3-3 with 2 outs here in the ninth. Nelson, a right-handed batter, looks the first pitch over. It's low and outside. 1 ball, no strikes. The Angels had a 3-0 lead going to the bottom of the 6th. Rockies got a run in the 6th, 1 in the 8th, and they've tied it with a run here in the 9th. Next pitch, lifted in the air into right center field. That ball was hit well out in right center. A diving attempt. Amarista can't come up with it. It's going to be a game winner for the Rockies as Nelson gave that one a ride out to the warning track, and the ball game is over. Amarista did everything he could. He tried to dive and catch it out on the track, but it would have been a spectacular grab had he made it. And it ends on that walk-off hit by Nelson. They get 2 here in the bottom of the 9th inning. And the Rockies come away with a 4-3 victory today here in Scottsdale over the Angels. So tough loss for the Halos today. The Angels led this ball game from the third inning until the ninth, but unable to come up with enough runs here today as the Rockies get the 2 spot in the bottom of the ninth to pull it out by the final score of 4-3. Jose will be joined by Angels manager Mike Scioscia in just a moment for a quick recap of this ball game. And then, of course, we'll continue our post-game coverage for you on the Angels Baseball Network and on Fox Sports West. Let's go down to Jose and Angels manager Mike Scioscia.
Thanks a lot, Terry. Mike, Irvin Santana has to be the feel-good story of the day, the way he was extending. How pleased are you about how he threw the ball?
That's what we'll take out of it today. Irvin was sharp. Obviously, there were a lot of eyes on him after getting hit with that line drive his last start. Really pitched well, had all his pitches, good breaking ball, located his fastball, threw some good changeups. It was just a great 4 innings for him.
Howie Kendrick and the way he's been continuing to tag the ball here this spring, I'm sure you're not surprised, but is there anything different when it comes down to even just maturity about the game for Howie Kendrick?
Well, he's in, I think, a good spot. I think he feels good in the batter's box. He's always has good springs. I think it's a good spot for him to hit 2 for our lineup right now. And when he gets a fastball, he's been squaring it up.
Bullpen and the way things are shaping up right now, you saw Abrahams, you saw Hawkins, who was very economical, and Kevin Jessamine continues to throw the ball well. It should be a tough decision for you, and that's what they're trying to do, I imagine.
Well, we need depth there, and if it's tough decisions for us, that's a great thing. But we need these guys pitching well. We need them throwing the ball well, hold leads, and right now it looks like we're having some depth that's developing.
How much are you looking forward to writing in Kendrys Morales' name in that lineup, hopefully tomorrow?
Well, if he got a good report today, he'll be in there tomorrow. We're excited about that.
Thank you, Mike.
Okay, Jose.
Terry.
All right, that's Jose Mota and Angels manager Mike Scioscia. The Angels drop it as the Rockies come up with 2 in the bottom of the ninth inning. Colorado wins it by the final score of 4-3 here at Salt River Fields at Talking Stick in Scottsdale, Arizona. For those of you watching on the TV side, Jose and Chris McGee will have a lot more post-game analysis on the radio side. I'll be back with more in just a couple of minutes. This is the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West.